You are not the father. Miss Miller.
Be respectful.
Sorry.
Miss Miller.
I'm sorry.
That's a lot of nerve considering the alternative is somebody that don't want nothing to do with you. You are not the father.
What?
Told you,
Are
bro.
you serious?
Told you. Can I Millie Rock?
No, no, you can't.
Sorry, my bad.
No, you can't. You know why?
This ain't
Because you
mine.
have another child with her, so you're not gonna clown in here.
Okay.
Because that's acting a fool, and that's what I don't do.
Did you see that? Mr. Harrington kicks things off by claiming he's definitely not the father of Ms. Day's 1-month-old daughter, Nalani, and says she's just trying to pin the baby on him because she knows he's a good dad. He's pretty adamant that their relationship ended before she got pregnant, and he throws out some serious accusations, saying she's been around with other men and is quite the party person. But Ms. Day isn't having it. She firmly says that if he's not the father, she might as well be the Virgin Mary. Get ready, because things are only getting more interesting.
And you claim you are not the father of Miss Day's 1-month-old daughter, Nalani Day, and want her to stop pinning her baby on you. You say your sexual relationship with the defendant ended before she got pregnant. Ms. Day, you say you would never attempt to pin a baby on a man without being sure.
This is getting intense. Ms. Day is so sure of herself, she's practically daring anyone to disagree. She insists that Mr. Harrington is the only possible father because she wasn't with anyone else during that time. She doubles down, saying there's absolutely no doubt in her mind. The confidence is strong with this one, but the story isn't even close to being over yet. You'll want to stick around for what's coming next. It's going to be a wild ride.
You think this is just an attempt to get a good dad for her child?
Yeah.
Ms. Day, those are strong allegations.
If
What do you do?
he is not the father of my child, I am the Virgin Mary. There's no other possibilities. I have not been messing around with anybody else
The Virgin
throughout
Mary.
the time that we were messing around.
So you are 100% positive Mr. Harrington
That
is
is-
your child's biological
ma'am.
father.
And now, things take an unexpected turn. Ms. Day reveals she found out she was pregnant when she went for an MRI, and the required pregnancy test beforehand gave her the big news. She says she let Mr. Harrington know right away, but he's got a completely different version of events. He claims he found out through a random anonymous text that practically screamed, "Hey, surprise, you might be a dad." This mystery texter even suggested another guy might be the father, adding more fuel to the fire. Buckle up, because the plot is about to thicken even more.
I found out that I was pregnant. I went to go and take an MRI. I was doing a brain study, went to go and take an MRI. When I went to go take the MRI, before you take it, they have to give you a pregnancy test because it can affect your pregnancy or whatever. So when I went to go and take the pregnancy test, they came back and they told me that I was pregnant. So when I found out about that, it took me to actually go to my first appointment to figure out.
Things are heating up. That anonymous tip really threw a wrench into things, didn't it? The text claimed she was hiding the pregnancy and hinted at another potential father. Now, Mr. Harrington is more skeptical than ever, especially after his sister confirms the pregnancy, but admits she kept it from him at Ms. Day's request. The tension is through the roof as everyone tries to figure out what's true and what's not. And believe me, this story is far from over. Wait until you see what's next.
Pregnant,
Yes,
though.
that's exactly.
Never mind guy number 1 and guy number 2.
Yeah, that's how I found out. Then I asked my sister, I called her, whatever. I was like, so I heard you was hiding the pregnancy. She was like, Kayla didn't want me to tell you, and she was also saying that you the dad. And I'm like, how? And she ain't talking to me. So I tried to call her. She not answering the phone.
He's trying to flip it around on a regular basis.
Yeah,
I don't answer the
she
call.
do ignore.
Well, that was something. Ms. Day's sister, Ebony Hall, steps up to give her 2 cents, and things get even juicier. She says Mr. Harrington was all about naming the baby, which sounds like he was ready to be a dad, right? But she also drops a bomb saying his new girlfriend gave him an ultimatum. If the baby's his, they're done. Ebony thinks he's now denying the baby to keep his relationship intact. Talk about drama. But just when you think it can't get any more tangled, there's even more to come.
Ms. Hall, what relationship are you to Ms. Day?
I'm her sister, her older sister.
Her older sister. And what do you know about the birth of Nalani that would indicate, since you are her witness,
Nothing.
that Mr. Harrington is Nalani's biological father?
Because when he came to the hospital, he asked her not to be named Nalania. He wanted her to be named Naya.
They just trying to make
He don't
this
want to
cool.
admit nothing because because his girlfriend told him.
And now it's getting real technical. Mr. Harrington isn't just arguing, he's got charts and calculators out here. He's convinced says he couldn't have fathered this baby because, well, let's just say he didn't finish the job during their encounter. He even uses a conception calculator to back up his claim that the dates just don't line up. It's like a crash course in biology meets courtroom drama. But hold on, because this case is about to take another turn and you won't want to miss it.
I was like a chauffeur. I was in and out, you know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why.
You didn't complete the sexual act, so
I did.
you don't feel like you could have impregnated her.
And I'm gonna tell you, because the conception date,
So you're saying her conception
Yeah.
date is wrong?
it isn't right because I went to only one of her appointments or whatever, and the doctor said, yeah, August 3rd, 2018 was her due date.
Whoa, that was a bombshell. The moment we've all been waiting for finally arrives, the DNA results.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Harrington, you are not the
Told
father.
you. Told you. bro.
No, you can't.
Sorry, my bad.
No, you
I'm sorry.
can't. You know why?
This ain't
Because
mine.
you have another child with her, so you're not gonna clown in here.
Okay.
Because that's acting a fool, and that's what I don't do.
But I told her.
Can you believe this drama unfolding? Mr. Crawford opens up about his past, admitting that as a young man, he wasn't prepared for fatherhood, which led him to deny paternity of Patricia Liggins for over 3 decades. After years of living with regret and a ton of what-ifs, he appears in court with his sister to seek a resolution and to prove that Ms. Liggins is indeed his biological daughter. Just wait. The story takes a wild turn you wouldn't want to miss.
Mr. Crawford, you say as a young man, you were not ready for the responsibility of being a father and denied paternity of Patricia Liggins. After 35 years of living with denial and regrets, you are here with your sister to prove Ms. Liggins is in fact your biological daughter. Is that correct?
This next part is a real eye-opener. Ms. Liggins makes her entrance into the courtroom with a cloud of doubt hovering over her. She expresses strong doubts about Mr. Crawford being her biological father, explaining that she had never heard of him until recently and had grown up believing another man was her father. This shocking revelation has her, and everyone else, reeling from a mix of emotions and skepticism. Brace yourself. It only gets more tangled from here.
Ms. Liggins, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
You have doubts. Mr. Crawford is your biological father. Is that correct?
Yes.
Explain.
Well, I would have to say he's not my father because I've never heard of him in my life. It's been 35 years. No one in my family, not even my Auntie Linda, so I'm surprised that she's here saying that he's my father.
Talk about a plot twist. Ms. Shaw, supporting Mr. Crawford's claim, contradicts Ms. Liggins, asserting she had previously mentioned Mr. Crawford as her father. This contradiction adds a layer of tension and uncertainty, highlighting the complexities and emotional strain of the paternity dispute. The courtroom drama escalates. Stay tuned because the sparks are about to fly.
5 years and you get a call out of the blue.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Shaw, as you listen to your niece, she almost can't believe that you're on this side of the aisle saying you believe Mr. Crawford is her biological father.
Yes, Your Honor. And first of all, I told China about her father.
That's a lie. I've never heard of this
I'm
man
not
in my
gonna
life.
Here's a tearjerker for you. The emotional toll on Ms. Liggins is vividly portrayed as she describes growing up without a father, crafting a self-reliant, resilient persona to cope with the absence. This makeshift identity was her armor against the challenges of life alone, showing us just how deep the scars of parental absence can run. Keep watching. The emotional roller coaster dives even deeper.
God, this is. Oh God. Oh God. I'm just here for answers. I mean, again, I don't have anything against this gentleman here. He seems like a nice guy. I just don't want to get my hopes up. I'm just torn.
I want to ask you, Ms. Shaw, if you knew this even back then and you say, I knew this was his child, what prevented you or why did you decide not to ever tell?
Now, hear this twist. Mr. Crawford shares his side of the story, reflecting on the sporadic and minimal contact he had with Ms. Liggins' mother around the time of conception, suggesting it was nothing more than a casual fling. He voices his uncertainty about the paternity, but clings to hope for closure and a positive resolution through DNA testing, revealing his ongoing internal conflict and desire for reconciliation. The big reveal is just around the bend. Get ready for a bombshell.
For you, baby.
But why? I'm like, I don't have any money, so I don't know why he's reaching out to me. Like, why do he want me to be his daughter? Because I don't have anything for him. I can't offer him anything. So why?
That's sad.
This is just all wrong. So we need answers.
Yes, Mr. Crawford.
A year ago, when I first started talking to her, Linda ran into my sister and I.
And now, the moment of truth. The courtroom holds its breath as the dramatic conclusion unfolds with the DNA results.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Crawford,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are not the father.
Man.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Hoping everything turned out all right. I'm still calling.
Can you even? Mr. Boykin steps up with a bold claim, denying paternity and labeling his time with Ms. Gully as nothing more than a brief spring fling. He's adamant that he's not the father of Messiah Gully and is here to prove it today, standing firm in his conviction. Stay tuned. It looks like we're in for quite the story.
Relationship with the defendant was nothing more than a spring fling. You say after disappearing for 9 months, Ms. Gully resurfaced claiming you fathered her son, Messiah Gully. You are certain that this is not child and plan to prove that court today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Gully, you say that the defendant is the only man you slept with.
You won't see this coming. As the tension escalates, Mr. Boykin likens their fleeting relationship to a summer breeze, ephemeral and light. This metaphor sends ripples through the audience and underscores the non-serious nature of their past interactions. He's steadfast in his belief that he isn't Messiah's dad. Buckle up because there's more to come.
Times it was like a summer breeze going through the wind. I actually did not know that she was pregnant.
And so you truly believe you are not this child's
I'm
father?
not the father, Your Honor.
Ms. Gully, are you certain Mr. Boykin is your child's biological father?
Yes, I am certain my child's father. He's the only man that I've been with.
Here's where it gets juicy. Delving into the details, Ms. Gully and Mr. Boykin discuss their casual relationship, rooted mainly in physical connection without any strings attached. They reveal a transition from safety first to throwing caution to the wind, which aligns dangerously with the timeline of Ms. Gully's pregnancy. Oh, and just wait for the next twist.
So this was a sexual relationship?
Yes.
It wasn't a committed relationship, Mr. Boykin?
No, Your Honor.
How'd you meet?
I met her at the store.
Okay.
I met her at the store, talked to her a couple times. We ended up having sex a couple times. It was just a sex
We
thing.
exchanged numbers.
Oh, you just meet at the store, exchange numbers, then you just had sex?
That was it.
Yeah.
Did you catch that? Let's dig into the timing as the judge matches their hookup history with the baby-making timeline. Mr. Boykin's confusion grows as he struggles with the reality that their casual flings could lead to such permanent consequences. Brace yourself. The revelations just keep unfolding.
And the conversation went like,
He said right off that he wasn't the father, but I told him
Your
that
Honor.
he was the only man that I was with at the time that I conceived.
do you remember getting that call, Mr. Boykin?
Yes, when she was calling me, asking me for money.
So hold on.
Like it was a relationship.
I never
It
called
was never
you
a
that day and
relationship,
asked you
Your
for
Honor.
money.
Do you remember getting the call saying, Mr. Boykin, I'm pregnant?
Hold the phone. After Messiah's arrival, Mr. Boykin keeps his distance but springs for a DNA test, hoping to clear his name. He insists they split the cost, leading to a standstill when Ms. Gully can't pony up her share and instead returns the test for baby essentials. What happens next? You guessed it, it's not over yet.
I'll be keeping in touch.
Right.
Did you keep in touch?
She didn't keep in touch. I didn't keep in touch.
Yes, ma'am, we did. But he also denied after I left the hospital being the father.
So you obviously didn't sign the birth certificate.
No.
No, ma'am.
And Messiah's 2 months now.
Yes, ma'am.
So what has Mr. Boykin done for or with
Nothing.
Messiah?
Wait for the curveball. Ms. Gully drops a bombshell about another possible dad in the mix, shaking the foundation of her previous claims. This late-game admission injects a dose of doubt and complicates the narrative, as she still insists that Mr. Boykin is the biological father. Fasten your seatbelts. It's a bumpy ride from here.
Nothing but what she told me. Nothing
What
but
did she
told me.
tell you?
It's a possibility it might be his, and a possibility it might be yours. That's exactly what she told me.
And when
That's
did she
why I
tell
felt
you
like-
this? At what point in this process, in this timeline, did she tell you that?
After she had the baby on.
After the baby was born?
No, ma'am.
We ain't get back. We ain't start talking until you had the baby. I did not talk to you until you had the baby.
Here comes the big reveal.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Boykin, you are not the father. You are not the father, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Miss Gully, I could tell that in your mind you had done the calculation and you truly thought Mr. Boykin was your child's biological father. I have to ask you respectfully, do you know?
Can you believe what we just witnessed? Ms. Gregory comes forward in court, revealing that her engagement was axed by Mr. Elston only 2 weeks ago due to his doubts about being the father of her son, Carson. She's now pushing for a DNA test to confirm Mr. Elston's paternity, hoping it might patch things up and keep the family together. You won't want to miss what's up next.
Miss Gregory Gregory, you say just 2 weeks ago the defendant called off your engagement due to paternity doubts surrounding your son Carson.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove Mr. Elston is the father and hope the results will save your family. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Elston, you and your sister.
This next bit is a doozy. Mr. Elston stands firm, convinced he's not Carson's dad, and points fingers at Ms. Gregory's ex as the likely father. His bold claim sets the stage for a deep dive into this paternity mystery. The plot thickens in just a moment.
So, Ms. Gregory, how important is it to save your family today?
It's very important for me to save my family because I feel that my kids, both of them, my unborn child and Carson, deserve their father. And I feel that we got engaged in May. He broke up with me 2 weeks ago because of paternity issues.
Here's where things get spicy. Mr. Elston spills the tea about his doubts over Ms. Gregory's loyalty, recounting tales of suspect calls and texts about her alleged cheating and even having buddies check up on her. This all leads to a bombshell that her ex's truck was spotted right in her driveway. Brace yourself. The drama escalates from here.
People calling me and texting me telling me that, you know, she's cheating or either somebody's in the driveway. I work out of town and I'm like, I do stuff like I send people over there to check on her just to make sure she's not doing nothing. And, you know, multiple people told me that they caught her ex in the driveway, caught his car there.
Your Honor, I'm actually the one.
Now, this is a twist you gotta hear. During a heated moment, Judge Lake presses Ms. Gregory about the mysterious truck. She denies any knowledge, claiming her ex lives several states away and can't pin down which truck is being questioned. Just wait, it gets even crazier after this.
Was your ex's truck there, Ms. Gregory?
No, Your Honor, my ex lives like 4 states
So
away.
who truck was it?
I live in apartments. I'm not exactly sure what truck she's talking about.
Really? You're not sure? Are you sure that you're not sure?
I'm not sure.
I want to learn more about how you met. Tell the court how this relationship started.
Me and Mr. Elston met through my ex at a basketball game.
Oh boy, here it goes. Ms. Gregory dives into the backstory of how she and Mr. Elston first crossed paths at a basketball game, introduced by her ex. Things quickly turned romantic and physical, leading up to an unexpected pregnancy. And guess what? There's more to this tangled web coming right up.
And then I got pregnant like almost a month later.
And so you got pregnant, and at that time, were you and Mr. Elston boyfriend and girlfriend, or were you still just cheating on your ex?
Your Honor, he still had a girlfriend. I didn't find out I was pregnant until...
Things just got real. Amidst swirling allegations about her past and how she got pregnant, Mr. Elston voices his skepticism, fueled by nasty rumors and questionable actions by Ms. Gregory during their time together. Buckle up, because there's a major truth bomb dropping soon.
He would have to break up with his girlfriend of the time, and I had already broken up with my boyfriend.
Well, Your Honor, I heard rumors about her before, you know, we started talking.
Your Honor, he's just now bringing up the rumors, though.
Well, I mean, the rumors are one thing, but the fact that you knew she had a boyfriend, that alone indicates she was potentially into...
Here's where it hits the fan. We delve into the saga of Carson's birth, with Ms. Gregory recounting the roller coaster of Mr. Elston's involvement and his shock at the baby not resembling him at all, deepening his paternity doubts. You'll definitely want to stick around for the fallout from this revelation.
And then after that, he had nothing to do with me the whole pregnancy.
So once he came to the doctor, found out you were pregnant, you never saw him again?
No, we text like 2 weeks after that, and that's about it.
And so when you had Carson, was Mr. Elston at the hospital?
He came to the hospital the second day. I had to have an emergency C-section, so I was in the hospital for 5 days.
Talk about a wild ride. The narrative twists as Ms. Gregory explains how their rocky relationship led to a rekindled romance and an eventual engagement, only for everything to unravel again with new paternity doubts about her second pregnancy. The drama doesn't stop here. More bombshells are on the way.
Y'all about one step from Care Bears yourself. And that's the problem. At some point, you decide to get back together because you got engaged.
You're not ready for this. New evidence surfaces showing Ms. Gregory's interactions with other men, including damning text exchanges and a social media post, all adding fuel to the fire of suspicion about her fidelity and the true paternity of her children. Trust me, the next part is a jaw-dropper.
It wouldn't be any doubt.
Things like what?
She's actually posted a picture with another dude around the time she was supposed to be pregnant by my brother.
Your Honor,
I actually have the
You
picture.
submitted that photo to the court?
Yes.
Oh, so this is the picture.
Who is that, Carly? Ain't that...
That's my ex. No sexual relationships in March.
Well, Your Honor, when I was out of town working, I was on top of the tower.
Get ready for the big reveal.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Elston, you are not the father. I'm sorry, Mr. Elston, you are not Carson's biological father.
Yeah, and I put myself in a situation where I thought I could trust her and, you know, I deserve better. And it's